Hello, guys, and welcome home. As you can see, we're still haunted out here, still in that 13 days. It's time. Murder train, choo choo, all aboard. I hope you're having a great. We're day four. We're day four. 4 days going strong, and it's just gonna keep getting better in my most humble opinion. But yes, it's murder time. I'm doing an internet scenario. I'm very excited. I haven't done it in so long. Because I didn't have like a drawing, what am I saying? Application, what a weird word. Like I was using Photoshop from school because I was getting it free, but then obviously once I graduated they were like, yeah, pay up, and I was like, but I can't. So it took me a very long time to find a free drawing app that I liked. That's the thing, because there's a lot out there, but just finding, like, trying to make the switch from Photoshop, or Illustrator, like Adobe, was a struggle. So just finding one that I liked, even if it wasn't necessarily close to Illustrator, was hard. But I did it, and I got a little Wacom tablet. This changed my life. First of all, I got this done much quicker than I feel like I could have. And honestly, it's been a blessing. So I love it. But anyways, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Okay. You want to know when I'm going to be here every day until Halloween regardless. And then back to our regularly scheduled program. But still, I'm just saying, I don't think it would be a bad idea. And then, Instagram, TikTok. I've been having fun. I love the app that is TikTok so much, maybe a little too much. And Instagram is just Instagram. She's old faithful out here, so consider subscribing. Following. Anyways, we're done. We're heading to my computer. Internet scenarios. I'm excited. Don't mind that side. My window is open. I don't have I have very light curtains. I need to get some new ones. So it's just that's heaven. Hell, heaven. Okay. I did it on purpose, actually. So, yeah. But we're here. I could not find the original poster for the life of me, but it's literally those two robes, and the caption on it is like, imagine greeting the cops in this robe when they come to tell me my husband, I don't know if it was husband or rich husband, either one, is dead, right? So I was like, I love it. I love the idea of that, right? Because that's the whole point of internet scenarios. We find things, what ifs, imagines, and we say, if we were in the situation, how are we dressing them? How are we dressing? So I feel like I was right? I was like, can we take it a step farther though? Yeah, they've already told us, okay, but what are we gonna wear to the funeral, right? I feel like that would be more interesting to see and to dress for, because funerals can be dramatic in movies. In real life, not that they can't be in real life, but there's also that sadness there. So in movies, I think, right, and that's kind of my vibe, my inspiration, movies. I wanted the drama, iconic funeral scenes. So I was thinking Princess Diana's revenge dress, the one that I'll show you the pictures. I looked up famous funeral dresses from movies, and the one that stuck out to me was Sophie Loren, 1961, in her movie El Cid. I'm not sure 100% the pronunciation, but I wanted luxury. Okay, we know this girl's rich because she inherited a lot. I wanted drama. I wanted to be a little fitted, So this is my mood board here. There's not much because I didn't need much. These three ladies was up. When I saw the covered veil, that's the drama that I'm going for. First of all, Pinterest, can't do me wrong. And that's the Princess Diana dress I was talking about. And obviously opposite of her is Sophie Loren. And again, I just love the hood. She has a petticoat with Diana's. It's fitted. It's not too showy. This is the thing. She's not showing off that much skin, but it's still a little scandal, right? So that's what I was thinking. A floor length, because hers is not exactly a tiara, but a veil. So I wanted that, but floor length. I want the drama, right? A diamond cross necklace, because she's in a church, really just paying up the whole Catholic thing, even though almost everybody at the funeral suspects that maybe she killed him, right? And you know what? I'm not condoning murder. I'm not condoning killing rich husband. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just having fun, and I personally don't care. And embroidered gloves, because I love gloves. I think you probably learned this about me, or you're going to continue to learn it about me. I love gloves. Okay. So yeah, so that's where our head's at. That's what we're thinking when we're going into draw this, right? So that being said, I don't know how to time lapse. I'm still trying to figure out how to work KRITA, and that's honestly why I think part of this drawing like took me so freaking long, because I didn't like. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. It was just one of those ones where halfway through drawing it, I started to hate it because of how much stress it had put me through. You know. Also, I forgot to mention, this is my attempt at looking rich. Alright, this is the best I got. Okay. I feel like, oh, there it is. I was like, did the lighting get worse? Stress. But yeah, just like my camera fell. That's why things are looking different here. But just like I said, like just trying to find the brushes that have things look the way I wanted them to. A shout out to the people who are making free brushes available for download on KRITA, because it saved my life. Saved my life, honestly. Like, I just can't. So I honestly think like that's really what made it take so long, and just really made some of the parts so stressful. Some of them easy, some of them really just took a lot out of me. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, here on to our drawing process. Total time, 8 hours and 59 minutes. That's how long this took me. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. But that's the life I lived, right? So I got, let me show you, these off Amazon. So they're croquis. It's literally been a lifesaver. And they have all different poses and stuff. Listen, I'm trying to learn how to draw bodies better, but it just, again, makes it go quicker. If the body's already there, then I just have to just put on the outline, right? So that's what I did. I used that pose, right? And notice how the arm comes out a bit. It's not like straight down, it comes out a bit, because that's going to be important for later. Something I wish I had remembered, right? But moving on. Why did my slideshow never work? What the hell? Oh, okay. Well, see, that's my outline that I ended up with. And there's two only because that's the first one I ended up with. And then if you look at the bottom, all I did was just make it thinner because I forgot I wanted it to be fitted. And mirror your stuff. Also a lifesaver. I just draw one half, mirror it. So onto the skirts, right? Through the skirts, I know I just wanted it again fitted, and I wanted like interest. I wanted it to be very like visually interesting. Like, oh wow, somebody took a long time to get this like custom made, custom designed. So I wanted to have a kind of accent piece on the side of the skirt there, but I wasn't sure what yet. So I just made the skirt all black, right? And then I went and I added some red. I went with lace. I was a bit nervous about the red. I was like, is that too? But then I was like, no. This girl's whole thing is that, like, she's dramatic. Like, of course, red lace is not too much. And also, like, red lace, blood, murder. Like, come on. So I think that's one thing I definitely had fun with this whole drawing, is being like, is that too dramatic? And I was like, if you have to ask yourself, then you obviously need to do it, right? But it also felt like it was kind of a balance. This is what it ended up looking like total. Because I wanted it to be dramatic, but in a subtle way. So that when, like, the guy's family was telling people about it later, they're like, oh, that witch who married him, she did this at the funeral. And it's like, hey, well, like, what was she doing? And it's like, she wasn't showing a lot of cleavage. She just had some off the shoulder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Personally, I don't think cleavage is, like, unclassy or whatever the hell. But I just mean, like, in a conventional way, right? It's like all the ways that you would think somebody's being disrespectful at a funeral. It's like, she's not being disrespectful in the most obvious ways. But she still is, right? So it's very much like, I don't know if I'm explaining this right. But yeah. So that's why I went with like red. Because you can wear like a little bit of color to a funeral. And actually I think in some cultures like red is like a... Oh, actually no, I think it's a wedding color. Never mind. Let's move on. The belt. That's the belt, what it ended up looking like. But that's what I hope you can tell. That's what's supposed to be like a crushed velvet. I also wanted a lot of texture. Okay, I wanted to make it as visually interesting as I could. So I ended up using a rust texture which is great. Also, one of the free brushes I got. Yeah. So that's what the belt ended up looking like with the skirt. And then for the bodice, I wanted it to look like, you know how Diana's was, like with that like ruching, like drapey kind of look. Like that's a better example, I think. So again, I just went all black, and at the sides, see how they're not straight down? I made it a bit bumpy because if you look in the previous ones, like even on the green one, when you have that fabric gathered and bunched like that, it's not going to go straight down, right? You're still going to see those little bumps there. So then I used a cloud rising smoke brush. So it's really a brush for a cloud. So this is a thing like with fashion, is that sometimes like you really have to like get creative to make things look. I was going to show it on the bodice, but I didn't want to spoil it. So yeah, that's on the side there. But yeah, you have to get creative with like the brushes, you know, to make it look how you want it to look, right? So if anyone uses KRITA and is interested in these brushes, let me know and I will drop the link. But yeah, so I did that. Personally, I felt it was great, like to create that folded like fabric look that I was going for. So then all I did was just go back in and add some more like a darker color in the same brush, just to add more like dimension to it, because I felt they had enough of the highlights, so I just wanted to get some darker ones in there to make it look like there was more folds and like shadows and stuff like that. So this is what it ended up looking like final. It's supposed to be crisp like that. I hope I can tell, but it's also my design, so yes. So on to the gloves. The gloves honestly gave me the most trouble in the sense that it's like, if you see on the last one how there's all those like extra ones around it, like it took so long just to find like the right brush to make it look good. I think it's like a dry marker brush I ended up using, but like the amount of brushes I went through just to have it look how I wanted it. But I ended up using it like I drew, like I colored it once, that's the second coat, and then that's the second versus the third coat. So you can like see the difference there. So that's what the gloves ended up looking like. Honestly, so simple, but again, like just finding the brush that would make them look like that. So the necklace, listen, I had the most fun with the necklace and what I was most excited for, because I ended up changing my mind. Listen guys, I was gonna do a diamond necklace like I said before, but I was like, I think maybe that would be like too much, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like if I'm her and I'm showing up with this big diamond necklace that I use like to spend his money on, then that would be something they could be like, oh, look at this girl, she used his money, she obviously did it, like that type of thing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I just wanted it to kind of be like, I wanted her to kind of get back at them like even more. Like, okay, she literally just married this guy and then maybe murdered him, maybe didn't. We're not incriminating anybody, right? And then she goes to the funeral and is like pissing them off, but in a way that if they tried to tell anybody else about it, then they would look like the crazy one. Like, that's the best way to describe it. So that's what I was thinking about when I was like trying to design it, right? Because like I didn't want her to have like too much cleavage out, because there's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of people would take that as like, oh wow, like yeah, I totally see why you hate this girl, right? But if it's like all she had was a bit of an off the shoulder dress and it goes like below her knee, right? Or just above her knee. So it's just like things like that where they'd be like, I hate this girl so much. And then people would be like, well, why? And then they'd be like, well, I mean, at the funeral, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have anything to say. So it'd make them even more angry. I made this girl super evil, okay? I'm having fun out here. So the necklace, I don't even know whose picture that is. I just typed in black and white photo on Google and this is what I got. My dream is she shows up with his picture on her neck, a locket of him. And everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, she was so in love with him. Like, wow, I can't believe how is she handling this heartbreak, right? But I figured to really like drive that buzz home, I had to do the skin first before I did the necklace. Right? The final. Let's make that. Tell me you think that's evil. Personally, I think it's evil. You know what I'm saying? We know how Christianity, Catholicism, they love guilt. They do. Catholic guilt is, I mean, guys, come on. Right? So I feel like she, at this point, it's like unspoken, like we know that she did it, but also wink, wink, no, she didn't, right? So imagine if the family knew suspect this and then she shows up with a picture of him and a whole cross too. I would just be like, damn, ballsy, gutsy out here. You know what I'm saying? So I was very happy with that decision of mine. Very happy. Right? So is my slideshow gonna mess up again? Okay. So then I just added the charms, as you can see. I learned about there's like a mirror tool, so what you draw on one side, as long as like it'll reflect, basically. It'll reflect, yeah. But honestly, life-changing, life-saving. So that's what it looked like after. And then I colored it. I hope you can tell the difference, because one of them doesn't have any shadows, none of that. And the other one does, I think. Yes, yeah, that one does. It does. Okay, so no shadows, shadows. And then I went and I added like the actual designs on it because it was just looking too plain, even with the actual like locket part, right? So yeah, let's watch that. So this is what it ended up looking like. And at this point I had already added like the shadows and stuff on it. Yes. I was very happy with that. I stared at that locket for so long, and I'm still even looking at it now. So proud. So for the shoes again, like these are the only two versions I remember to take pictures of, because at this point again, even though it was obviously spaced out, I was so frustrated with these shoes. But if you look between the two examples I have, like there's not that big of a difference. It really is just the closure, right? But I really spent a long time like playing around with like, okay, maybe it's like a bit of a boot, no boot, a strap, how high is our platform? Like, I don't know, like shoes really do make an outfit, and it was just so hard for me to get the right shoe for this outfit, to not take away from it. I wanted to do something a bit more of like a classic type of shoe, like it was stressed. But in the end, I think I got it. This is what they ended up looking like. We did red bottoms that year. Got it. So for the face, I really didn't do much. This is what it looked like, right? Not looking good. So I just added a scalp and actually traced like the eyebrows and stuff. I'm just gonna be honest, faces are not my thing. So you are rarely gonna catch me doing a face. But I didn't want to leave her like a blob, so I did just trace the ones that like came with the croquis. And then I added some hair. I decided like, let's make her bald. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, what if she like murdered him? Wink, wink, not really. And then like shaved her head after, right? Like hair is like very significant, you know what I'm saying? At least like symbolically. You know, the cutting of the hair can be a sign of change, a shedding, you know what I'm saying? Like she did what she had to do and she's shedding that, and now she's on to her next victim, maybe. But she's new, she's fresh, right? And the veil. This is the other thing that I had the most fun doing up until a certain point. But I just love the drama of it. And I did end up cutting out the tiara because I felt like it would have been too much. I know like that's kind of her thing, but like I said, I wanted it to be like, if you go to a funeral and somebody shows up wearing a tiara, that's automatically like you can talk shit about that person and people are gonna agree with you. But I wanted it to be like the family hated her and wanted to talk shit about her, but they couldn't because they didn't have any proof. There was nothing to say, right? So that's why I had to cut the tiara. The veil is a little bit dramatic, but also people wear veils to funerals all the time. Right, so floor length, I mean, she could even argue this reminiscent of her wedding veil. Like maybe she literally took her wedding veil and dyed it black as another symbol of their everlasting love. Right, so again, like I loved the covered look. That's like the kind of wedding inspiration, how it kind of pooled at the ground a little bit. And also I think my inspiration a bit of like the robe as well, like, you know, that sheer, that drama. So this is what it looked like before. Also, enjoy the board. I do not clear the board, like erase any of the extra colors until the very end. It's kind of frustrating, but you know what? I live my life. But that's like the shape I ended up with, right? And I'm thinking it's going to be good. It's going to be easy, right? No. I went through so many bottoms on the veil. I don't know why. It just wasn't looking right. So I had to draw all these extra lines and stuff just to get it to fall right, and the placement and the length of it. And even now, to be honest, still looking at it, it does like, but I didn't want to go overboard. So I left it and I'm happy with it, but I still feel like on the inside, I could have done better on it, right? But this is what I ended up going with, that one at the end. Why? Because if you look in the final, remember how I said her hand, it's not straight like that. It goes out a little bit. So I didn't account for that. So none of the veils were sitting right because the veil kept going straight down on the one side when it should have been coming out a little bit because her hand was raised. If it's a full body, it's going to follow the lines of the body. Like it's lace. It's like a mesh. Like not mesh, but like the veil's not thick is what I'm saying. It has no structure. Wherever the body goes, so does that veil, right? So honestly, just glad I figured it out because stress. And this, the one side is no blend. I just literally used a blend brush to kind of, I didn't like the texture of it. That's actually another like cloud brush, not the same one I used for the belt. I don't even remember what that one was called. But I didn't like how it looked, but I loved like the light and darks that was coming in and just kind of the like opacity of it. So I just blended it. That's it, and that's how it looks. But another thing that wasn't, oh, this is the top, how the top looks. I used like a lace border. But another thing that wasn't sitting right was like the actual colors on the lace. So the first picture is, I added another layer and just like colored the back in really dark, just to have it look 3D, like volume. Like at the end of the day, the back of the lace, even though it's very light and technically kind of see-through, it's still going to be darker. So just trying to get that darker look was very hard. So I did one where it's just like the back of the veil, and then I did another layer which was the whole veil in the front, and ended up, you know, add those together, and I ended up with this, which is good as I felt it was gonna get, right? So on to our final results. What does it look like all together? Bam! This is our full thing. I love it. Gorgeous. And then this is, the slideshow is the devil. Also, it's not even recording. Okay, there, and that's with the veil. I love it. Okay. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then here we have some close-ups. And I'm also obviously going to be posting pictures on my Instagram. But yeah. So honestly, drop your opinions, you know, in the comments. What did you think? I definitely think with the skin and the shading, I want to improve on that. So it's like something on my list. As well as just like getting better at like drawing bodies. Like I'm happy to have like the croquis, but I just think it would be nice to be able to like draw the whole body too, right? Other than that, I just love it. I love the whole scenario too. Yeah. If you guys have any scenarios you think it would be cool like for me to try and come up with an outfit with, send them to me, Instagram, TikTok. Like I would love to see them. I have more like coming up that I'm like excited for. And honestly, I've missed drawing, and it honestly took me so long to even find like an application that could work that I liked in using that wasn't like Adobe like Illustrator. But it's still, like I said, like practice makes perfect. I think just the more I used it, and even just doing this project, like I've learned so many brushes, and I think I'm really getting the hang of it. I just keep looking at it at the corner of my eye. Still on my computer screen. But yes, that's everything. This is day 4. Day 5, we're still kind of on a bit of a murdery train, if you will. That's tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.